welcome to the review show. My name's Austin, and The Last of Us episode 5 is out on HBO Max right now. I just finished watching it this morning. I didn't have a chance to watch it last night. I was a little bit busy, and so this is kind of like a direct right after review, which I hardly don't do that much. But yeah, these will contain spoilers if you haven't been a part of the series. So go watch the episode 5. And come back. This will be still up, but yeah, let's get right into the review. Knowing what happens in the game makes this episode the most important episode, the biggest turning point. Like, this episode was honestly pretty fucking good, and my complaints about the previous episodes kind of came true, like with this new leader, Karen leader, basically, and it's like, okay, if they explain why she's a leader, how is she a leader, then I guess we could, I can buy her, her performance in some form and, sort of be intimidated by her. And so what I basically predicted is that her brother got killed by Henry. Henry didn't kill him, but he was he was the reason of his death. And so basically, she was the lead, so she became the leader because her brother was the leader, and even so, it's just something about her performance I don't like. I don't know why. I get why she's a leader, and it might be uncomfortable for her to be in this position, but nothing really comes into any other play really about her, to give us a reason to actually be intimidated by her. She's a leader because her brother died, and so everyone's sort of kind of looking towards her, I guess. That's fine, but there's not once I felt like, I'm scared of you. You bring a fear, you bring some words. You bring some fear performance to your character and bring something to the screen. And and I never really got that. I just kind of cringed at her performance. And besides that, really, everything else of the episode was really great. Henry and Sam, I did enjoy. At times, Henry kind of came ignorant. This is a complete different. Both of them are actually. Henry and Sam are complete different characters from the game, but you can let Sam, have a little bit leeway because he's a kid, so that not really that much is different from him besides being death, because in the game he wasn't really death. But that doesn't really change anything about anything. It just kind of adds a nice little bond between them. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Henry just was a lot more dumb here in the show than in the game. In the game, he was thinking stuff out, and he was actually sure of it, and he was confident about it. Here, he was just maybe. It's been 3 years since since anyone's been down there, so it might be clear, might not be clear. So we'll find out, right, when we get down there, or be tearing apart. And it's really. And him also running out in the open, being stupid. It's dude, what are you doing? And it didn't really make any sense for certain things that he did. And it's but besides that, but his bond between Sam is pretty good. We spent quite some time with them with this episode at the beginning, and next we see that he notices Joel from the previous episode was getting shot at, and in their encounter, their plan of trying to be friends is pointing a gun at them. I see what I mean by they made Henry kind of stupid in this one. It's not like it was a random ambush. It's not like a turn of events that they bump into each other from a window. Them meeting from a window now kind of makes a little bit more sense because they don't really know each other. But Sam intentionally tried to find them. And kind of uses Ellie as a hostage. It's what are you doing? I don't get your train of thought here. Okay, why not? One thing that definitely 100% I enjoyed this episode is that Ellie and Sam have this nice bonding time with one another, and people are Ellie's like the worst in this show. She does nothing but say the F word and does nothing but disobey Joel. She has no warm heart. Clearly, you're all wrong about everyone has their own opinions, but it shows here that Ellie has their own that she does have a good heart, and she even tries to help Sam later on. Spoilers: Sam gets bit, and of course he turns and dies and such, and so. But we'll get to that later on. But during that, sort of that event, section is that when after they kind of get out of the sewer parts, which is also in the game, not exactly how it turns out in the game. There's definitely affected in the game, and things can be changed around from show to game for a reason. That's fine. But then when we get to the town part, which is like, oh, is Joel going to go up against people? Is Joel going to actually go up against like other people who are in this town and try to get to that sniper like I had to do, and I died like 20 times trying to do it? No, there is no one. It's just that one guy in the building sniping. Somehow he sees them and just snipe. I guess Ellie and the group was being loud or something like that. But I just wanted to see Joel go through the struggle that I had to do to go through that. It's like, how many times are we going to see Joel die here? What drastically changes from this part of the game is that this resistance figures out where Joel, Ellie, Sam, and Henry are. And basically they're coming, and they're like, and Karen over here, I know her name's Catherine, but I'm going to call her Karen. Karen basically is like, come out, Henry, and we're gonna kill you, basically. And it's like, let the kids go. It's like, nope, they're gonna die too. They're with the girls with that man. Sam is with you. They're both gonna die. It's like, what? Something about justice and fairness and such. Or well, she says like justice, and she later on in the episode it shows that she doesn't give a shit at all, and she kills people anyway. But she's about she's about basically about family in some form, and she's, I don't know, like her motive is sort of messed up and like all over the place. Like one thing she cares about people, and next to the thing she doesn't, and she's gonna gonna kill kids, even though I'm pretty sure that she has a family group in her group, in her resistance group. Like, okay, I just don't buy that she tries to give us a heartful meaning message at some point in the middle of the episode talking about her brother, but then she's gonna willingly kill kids. Like, that's just like, there's no connection to it's like two different complete characters. It doesn't really make any sense. While that while this buildup is going on, while everyone's pointing guns basically at each other, the truck that was crashed that Joel shot is now sinking underground. This was hinted at the previous episode, which I thought it would have to do with something with the vines that they were also maybe affecting people that were already dead or some form. But the brain needs to be alive for the fungus to spread. But so what Fedra did is that they brought the infected underground, and while everything is happening, the truck sinks through the concrete or whatever, the foundation of this house, letting all the infected come out and just kill everyone. Like, holy shit. Like, fucking, this was awesome. I enjoyed this part of the episode. This you just see people getting beaten to death by clickers, and we see the big guy, which I'm pretty sure he's called a bloater, right? One of the coolest deaths in this whole entire episode is when you see one of the basically her the right-hand man guy gets his head fucking ripped off, which is a death in the game, which is pretty cool. I wish there was a little bit closer. I wish there was a close-up of it, because you could tell that there was some graphical detail in that scene, and I don't know, it would add something more to it, but I could understand why they probably wanted to show it from a farther distance. But yeah, in that whole entire situation, after that goes down, Karen over here dies because a little infected girl comes up and kills her like fucking Chucky. It's like, yeah, just scratching her fucking face off. I'm like, thank goodness. You don't have to complain to managers anymore. Fucking hell. I really enjoyed this episode. This one is a better step up from the previous one because we don't really focus on, the resistance that much in this one because honestly, we don't need any character development for the resistance. I don't care for them because it's just that's something that we don't really need, to be honest. And I don't need to feel bad for killing certain people, all right? We get they're people, but I don't need to feel bad for because in the game, I'm like, you're just going die. I'm going to give The Last of Us Episode 5 an A-. I really did enjoy it. Just stuff with the Henry stuff and the resistance stuff kind of iffy. The resistance stuff, writing for them is honestly not that good of a write. It's not the worst writing in the world, but it's the writing for them doesn't do enough for me to care about them because there was a scene where we're supposed to care about what happened to Karen's brother, and it's just I don't really care because the dialogue for you is just awful and your performance is not really that great. And so yeah, that's basically my complaints, but I've been really enjoying the show. This was a very sad episode, and one thing I actually forgot to talk about is that Henry dies. He shoots Sam because Sam he finds out Sam's infected. He's attacking Sam. Sam's attacking Sam. Sam is attacking Ellie, and he just shoots him. He's kind of and he's sort of mad at Joel for some reason. In the game, it's a little bit more executed because he's like, it's your fault. He's straight up saying it's your fault, but for no reason in the show, he's just pointing the gun at Joel. It's like, why are you pointing the gun at Joel for some odd reason? Are you gonna say something? But then he just shoots himself. So execution-wise, better in the game for that part. One simple line, it's your fault. It's like, okay, we can understand that you're going through all these different emotions, and it's frightening, but it's no one's fault. Like something like that. A conversation between the two would have added a little bit more to it, and it'll feel more genuine and make these feel more of characters than just all right, we're at that point of the game, I'm gonna point a gun at you because that's what happened in the game. Type of deal. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode review. Can't wait to talk about episode 6. We have a full-on freaking week to wait for that one. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye, guys.